Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I haven't paid full price.
No, worth it. Also, the furniture you can buy now is crap.
Oh, it's all apart.
It's such bad shit. I would much rather buy somebody's like, from the 1980s. Scary. Yeah, that's my real word is the first of God knows why. Do we want to start?
Let me know. Let me go to my place. Document. We can. We can roll around. We got a path to change it. I'm ready when you are.
Yeah, she said that is her.
Okay.
Exactly 5 minutes time.
Sure.
It's me. So. Just.
Talking everything.
And it's just the beginning of the year.
It's not good. It's not good.
Oh, that's good.
No,
It didn't start very fresh.
It did not start that.
Been work today, talking to people, right? I said, how's it going on this stuff? Great, like, I'm bored. So,
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, is that work today?
Yeah. So,
I just had this like this silver, this is the same, we were saying.
you're like, no, that's what it matters. Mhm. Yeah.
She always, she always said, oh, this is a way for her to make
Correct.
Start waiting down the shop. So, some people.
Johnny is famous for being tackle people forever.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna start the recording now.
Okay, I gotta stop swearing.
Shall we? Ready? Okay. Good evening, everyone. We'll call our meeting, first meeting of the year to order. And I will start with our land acknowledgement. The Altadena Library District acknowledges its presence on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded land of the Gabrielino Tonga peoples. Altadena is located on the stolen homelands of the Hahamanga tribal band. The traditional territory of the Gabrielino Tongva is referred to as Tavangar, which includes the areas currently known as Los Angeles County, Riverside County, West San Bernardino County, parts of Orange County, as well as the 4 Southern Channel Islands. Entities such as the U.S. government and non-native settlers have subjected the Gabrielino Tongva peoples to historic and continuing injustices, including genocide, forced displacement, and cultural and linguistic erasure. Altadena Library commits to learning, educating, and informing its staff and residents of present-day Altadena about the rich histories, vibrant communities, and culture of Gabrielino Tongva people, present and past, through our collection development resources and program offerings. I will now do a roll call. Trustee Lynn.
Here.
Trustee Moremas.
Here.
Trustee Clark. Here. And Trustee Ruffins. Here. And I am here.
All right, so I'm gonna interrupt. We have the Our Village Preschool Parent Association here tonight, and they are going to present a check to the district focused on children's programming. So.
Welcome. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone here and online. Thank you for inviting us in. My name is Sarah Humphreys. I am the treasurer of the Our Village Parent Association, which was founded in September of 2023 to support Our Village Preschool, which is located in Burbank, California. We're a small school which is run by our 2 co-directors and owners, Renee, Nikki, and Krista. They are amazing leaders. They're former teachers from LAUSD, and they have built an amazing community that we are fortunate enough to be part of. One of the things that we do as a VPA of the Parent Association is do fundraising for our school, specifically as we are working with the playground that is inclusive for all students. We serve children ages 2 through 5 in early childhood education. One of the cool things about our community is we find ways to give back. We've done toy drives, we've done hiking drives, we've done a food drive, we do a ton of bake sales. And in January of last year, as we watched in horror as our county was ravaged by the fires, we know that our local communities are tied in, and we have friends and family who live in Altadena and the surrounding communities. We decided to do our Valentine's Day fundraiser last year in honor of children's programming fire relief. We raised $733, and as an organization, we decided to match dollar for dollar. We specifically wanted to donate to a group that focuses on early childhood education, focuses on literacy. So you guys are a natural selection. With our matching dollars, we're presenting a check for $1,466 to your organization. We are lucky enough to be joined by parents and students from our local school. So Giovanna and Amelia are holding our honorary check.
No, we're just happy that we can be a part of giving back to our surrounding communities. What do you want to do? You want to say hello?
Can you say hello to everybody at home?
Yeah, go ahead.
And everybody
They can hear you. Hello.
Hello.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, do we want to get a picture with the trustees?
Yeah.
If you guys wouldn't mind joining us for
Yeah.
a photo, we would selfishly like to share that.
You don't have to.
Well,
Behind the table. Catalina, you got it?
Sure. Here, you hold it up.
Yeah.
Excellent.
No photo.
Got it.
She does not want it on social media.
Why takes it a little?
Do we need to move somewhere else? No, try.
No. Okay, okay, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am.
All right.
Okay.
One. No,
I got it.
No,
No,
all right.
no.
I lost it. All right.
2, 3.
All right, perfect.
And I got
One over here, two. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bravo.
Thank you.
Amelia.
Thank you, Amelia.
Based on,
You put her on the spot.
And Nikki.
he's out.
We're so happy.
I'll put it on social media.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I think we were like.
Yeah. Spotlights for the film, but-
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, ours went back up to the children's. Thank you. That was a fun little surprise, huh?
Yeah.
Lovely,
You should make sure you tell her to get you the picture of the baby with the check. If she consents to have her photo used. For any reason. Okay. Is there any reordering of the agenda? May we get a motion to adopt agenda?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Is there any public comment on non-agenda items? I assume that was public comment on. All right, then moving to the consent calendar, can we get a motion to approve?
Second.
Bill lighting is exciting.
All in favor?
Great.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. All right, moving on to department updates and presentations. We don't have any presentations, but a lot of updates. Are there any questions or comments on the department updates? Okay. Thank you for them, as usual, staff, they are appreciated. Then moving on to support groups. I didn't see anything in the package. Do you have any updates? from the
Yeah, I'll
support groups?
just, I did meet with the Friends on February 13th. We're working with them to coordinate the book and furniture sale that's gonna take place here at the main library from February 18th through the 21st. That'll be from 10 to 3. So we'll be working with them once Main does close after this coming weekend to price things throughout the building and get ready for the sale. Foundation is holding their next meeting. They had their retreat in November. I was there for that, and their next meeting is scheduled for February 18th here at the main library. So I think that's about it.
Who's meeting? I'm sorry, it's scheduled.
The foundation board will be meeting on the 18th. So they meet every other month.
The last meeting, they announced like the hour of.
Hmm?
The last meeting they had, it was like the hour of, I didn't get an invite to like right before it was happening.
Oh, well, 18th,
15th.
that, I'll have to look. I think it's 5:30.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll make sure you're in the know. Cause you're both, right?
Yeah,
Friends, it's on my calendar for Tuesday, February 3rd at 6, but that is usually a moving target, so I'll let you know about that too, right?
okay.
Okay. Administrative update?
All right, lots going on as usual. Good evening, everyone. I'll try to be brief, even though I struggle with that, as you all know. Looking at Bryn's marketing update, she has been extremely busy as we've been preparing for the main library closure. She created a 4-minute video of the history of the main library. If you haven't seen it, highly recommend that you check that out, as well as keeping our next chapter page on the website updated with the most current information available. She's currently working on a second video right now that's really gonna focus on the renderings of the project, and like, she was taking pictures today, so it's gonna like fade from this is what it looks like now into what it's going to look like after the opening. So I think it's gonna be a really cool video. So she's been working on that. She's also leading our 100th anniversary committee. So as we all know, this is the 100th year anniversary of our library district being founded. So we're hoping to have some kind of a logo put together in time for the groundbreaking here at the main library on the 28th of February, as well as some other swag and things coming out of that, as well as planning a celebration later this year. So she's leading that with us. She continues to put out Altadena Connections. Starting at the beginning of this year, it's moved to a bi-weekly format, which is good because it's very time consuming for her to like pull all of those resources together. But again, if people have news that they want included in it, just please refer them to send it to news@altadenalibrary.org, and then that'll make it into the updates that she puts out. We did have the 1-year anniversary of the Eaton Fire on January 7th. Her and I went to a press conference that morning that was led by the Eaton Fire Survivors Network, as well as then the event at Grocery Outlet and the concert later that night. It was a busy day, but nice to see so many people come together. And crazy to think it's already been a year. Also continues to work with the poets to promote their programming, which has been very effective. Just this past Saturday, they had an event here in the community room that was pretty much standing room only. We had to pull out extra chairs, so doing a great job making sure that people are aware of those programs. Into my administrative updates, with Ad Hoc Crisis and Recovery Committee, I flew up to Sacramento on January 15th. Where our lobbyist Jean Hurston, I met with 3 legislative offices that day to pitch the $5 million ask that the committee is asking the state for again this year. It was very well received by all three offices, so we'll continue to lobby up in Sacramento, especially as I'm traveling up there for the California Special District Association Board of Directors meeting. I had that the following day on January 16th. My first meeting, it was really great to connect with all of the directors from across the state, and I really feel like it's good exposure for Altadena that I'm sitting on that board, so excited about that. And there was a really nice little press release. If you didn't see it, the link is in the report.
People are like, is Nikki having a new job? Did she leave the library? Did she get a new job?
Yeah, I got some texts. No, I'm not. I'm just on a board. We launched our new express evaluation system. As many of the trustees know, I've been wanting to have a customized evaluation system since I got here, so really excited that we finally brought that to fruition. We're also continuing the Project Ready curriculum. A reminder that that's a study on the history of race and racism in the United States. So we have 3 groups or 4 groups going through it with newer staff that had started. David and I's groups actually finished. So now we're launching the next series of training. This month, him and I put together resources on neurodiversity and had conversation with our groups about that. So excited to continue to like refresh on certain topics that we covered in Project Ready, as well as some new ones. Altadena Town Council Land Use Committee, I attended that meeting along with Trustee Clark. Not Trustee Marimas, he had to abstain from that, but and Jennifer Pearson and Facilities Manager Daniel. On January 6th, that went through pretty easily. Thanks to Jennifer for putting together the presentation. There were 2 positive public comments that were added to the record as well. They did do canvassing ahead of the meeting, and overall the feedback has just been really positive, which was good to see. Following that, I went to the full council meeting on January 20th, where again, they unanimously voted to approve the project. So things continue to move in the right direction with that. In addition to our 2 alternate sites, there are Bob Lucas and Loma Alta, I'm still working with LA County on trying to staff the community center. As I'm sure all of us are aware, a lot of times at night and on weekends, that community room isn't utilized because they don't have staff to work it. So with us moving passport services over there, I continue to be in conversation with both Supervisor Barger and the Department of Consumer and Business Affairs to be able to staff so that if the room can be opened up more, especially in light of this room closing and how much it is heavily used by the community. So very hopeful that's gonna come to pass with more information to come. Let's see what else. Already talked about the fire. Reminder that it is already time to appoint 2 new poets laureate. The application process opened at the beginning of this year. Deadline to apply is February 15th. So if you know anyone that may be interested in serving in that capacity, please spread the word. It was pretty competitive the last 2 rounds of it, so I would assume we'll get some good applicants again. This time we also worked with our attorney to put together a professional services agreement so that those that apply to serve as poet kind of get a sense of what that includes. So the PSA has like a full scope of work and what is being asked of them. Because I have found the past couple rounds of bringing people on board, they really weren't quite sure what they had signed up for. So this way, hopefully it's a little walking into it with some more knowledge. So people can look at that ahead of applying as well. And I think that's about it. So happy to answer any questions you might have.
Are there any questions for Nikki about the administrative updates? Thank you, Nikki.
Yep.
Okay, we move on to the financial reports. We are gonna have someone talk about the December 2025 financials. Hello there.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. Yes, I will bring up some of the highlights here. Let me find report. Here we go. Okay, so for revenue, cautiously excited, I guess, that the property tax assessments both the regular and the parcel benefit came in higher than we had budgeted and anticipated. Now we are still waiting one more report before we feel, really good with these numbers. But basically what the county does is assess the entire amount and then advance 40% of the funds. So what you're seeing here is the entire amount, assuming all taxpayers pay. So you're in here at 100%. We know that there will be some unpaid dollars, but higher than budgeted. So we'll be making those adjustments. The way the parcel benefit now works is we only have one, the district only has one special tax. And so what we've done is take the entire amount that they've assessed and taken off the portion that belongs to the debt service. So we will fund that first. As those collections come in, it will all go to US Bank, the fiscal agent on that. Everything else is meant for the general fund. So that number as well is higher than the 1,020,000 that we budgeted. So that's good news. Other lines are in pretty much at the 50% target. Grant reimbursements come in quarterly. That will amp up a little bit when a little more work is done on the main library in terms of staff meetings and such. So that's just an estimated amount. So total revenue above, and again, we'll be making mid-year adjustments to reflect that state revenue that was received, as well as the adjustments in property taxes. Expenses are looking good as well. Salaried and hourly are right on target. Just a little bit of a decrease there because of some vacancies. One being that assistant director position that will not be filled this year. So I think you'll start to see that percentage go down a little bit and under budget there. In terms of benefits, I don't know if you can move the slide up a little bit. Most of the benefits are right in line. The only differences you see there will be because of funding. If it's funded earlier in the year, we show it as completely funded. So no concerns there. Operating expenses, same thing. Everything looks in line. No major mentions there, other than I see the vehicle and maintenance line is down a little bit, and that's just good news because it just means we anticipate, items are not greater than what we've anticipated. So that's good. Okay, next section, professional services. The consulting line is up a little bit. And I don't know if Nikki wants to speak to that, but the major expense that is in that one has to do, I believe, with the HR consulting. And I lost my screen on that too. Where did it go?
There's something else too, I'm not thinking
Yeah,
of.
I was just going to mention your big ones, Nikki. So the biggest one is the North Star Consulting. That's half of your expenses, and then the other one is the Hearst expenses. Your
Yeah.
Gene, as those were not budgeted at the beginning of the year, but they were anticipated to take the place of some other things not being done. So that line is over just a bit, and we will adjust that at mid-year. But I don't think anything of concern. The board is aware of all the expenses that have been approved for there.
Mhm.
Okay, moving to the next section. Technology, we'll make a few adjustments there. E-rate expenses, David and I are working through those. It's the way those bills come. There were some credits from prior years. They really work at a lag. So don't be concerned about that line. He and I will work it out, but we may have to do some adjusting there. It looks like you're receiving some credits from prior years that will have your expenses come in a little bit lower. So that's good. Technology maintenance fees, there was one item that used to be covered by other grant funds and is not, so we'll be adjusting for that mid-year as well. Materials overall are in target, but certainly some lines are a little bit above what their spending should be, and that's mostly just in timing. And we will be adjusting the databases just a little bit with mid-year. Programming is low, and that's because the majority of programming expenses to date have been spent from your granting agencies. So the district spends the grant funds first, Almost all of the Friends and Foundation monies have been expended, and then some of the other specific lines we'll see on the next page. So you'll start to see more of the expenses now for the second part of the year be assessed on these lines. As at this point in time, $5 million would be added to the reserve. We anticipated only 194,000, and again, we had not budgeted for that $3.6 million from the state. So that will all be adjusted, and still looking like there'll be additions to the reserve that will help with the funding over the next couple years, and then in anticipation, of course, of the next ask to see what that does. When we provide the next budget report, which is upcoming, the budget committee will be meeting in a couple of weeks, or maybe it's 1 week, and then it'll come to the board. You'll see some reserve stats there as well, so you can see what those numbers have grown to at this point, now that we have the property tax and state funding. And that's all I have for general fund. If there's any questions, I'll take those. Otherwise, we can move to donations and grants. Okay. We can move to the next page here. Donations and grants, of course, we want to spend those in their entirety. There will be a few budget adjustments based on new funding during the year. The foundation was able to contribute 5 more than was budgeted there. The literacy services, Diana and I met on that in the lunch at the library program. So we're going to have a little bit of adjustments there to account for actual dollars received on those grants. The Zip Books grant came in a little less. That will be part of the funding. And then, of course, the direct relief community recovery will be added, since that was a mid-year contribution, and miscellaneous donations. We don't typically budget for those, but as you heard tonight, there are lots of different agencies that have been continuing to give some donations. So we'll account for those and add a budget line there as well. The other lines are mostly intact. Looks like we have a little adjusting to do. What we said was, as long as they spend in total, we want actual expenses to go where they are. So the budgets were what was anticipated, and then as it is reflected here, some of the actual was spent more in one line and less in another. But if you look at the bottom line, I believe it's line 30, scroll up just a bit, you can see what is unexpended to date. So 36,000 unexpended to date, and most of that is in those specific lines, some of your community recovery and specific grants, lunch at the library, literacy. Any questions on the donations and grants? Okay, if we can move to the next page then. This is just your combined report, so you can see of the total budget, operating budget for the district, how much is grant funded versus general fund. Those, it's just in a summarized portion, the 2 pages you saw prior. And then we can move to capital. So the next 2 slides are your building projects. And this first slide, or first report, excuse me, is just the activity for this year. So we don't show the use of bond funds or the use of grant funds that were already recorded in a different year, but you can see the donations that have come in, the naming donations this year, as well as interest income. So we're at 89% of interest. However, rates are decreasing and in some of the investments that we have. So we'll probably make a small adjustment there, but I think you're going to see a slowdown in the remaining months of the year. Expenses, again, this budget was developed with both Maine and Bob Lucas. And as we get into the next couple of meetings, we'll be seeing those adjustments as Maine takes off. But those are the dollars to date. So this is a summarized version. And then the next page shows you by category what has been spent. And you can see since inception, the total column will show you all the grant proceeds, the bond proceeds, contributions to date, as well as interest, all of your revenue. At this point in time, at the balance, so 29 collected and 22.7 remaining. So most of that being spent for Bob Lucas, and then some of the design and preparatory expenses for the main library. Any questions on any of the building project reports? Okay, if not, we'll move to the balance sheet, which is a snapshot of where you are to date. And so total assets are at 43 million. But if you go scroll down just a little bit, you'll note that of that 43 million, the liabilities against those assets, a good portion of that is the bond that is continuing to be paid off. Yes, so your liabilities of about 30 million. So your net, basically your net, what you have invested at this point in time is close to the $11 million. What you will see again at your next board meeting, a significant number of transfers have been made recently due to now the money coming in, the first 40% advance on property taxes, the state funding, and then also we're expecting in the next month the backfill on tax loss revenue from last year and this year. So with all of those new dollars coming in, Nikki has made a number of transfers. The 5-star public money market fund has been established and dollars are sitting there. We did take not only new money, but a little bit from class. So class works off of investments that they hold with a short maturity. And because of the declining interest rates, those numbers were less than what 5-star bank could provide. And so while we're still keeping diversification, a higher amount of funds were put in 5-star bank. And then we left a smaller balance in class. But we will start showing, presenting to the board investment reports. So the next meeting will have investments, and we'll do that every quarter so that you can see the activity and where your funds are sitting on an account by account basis. The next item I just wanted to mention is, as I've alluded to a couple of times, we'll have the budget, mid-year budget adjustments, and then we'll move right into preparation for next year's budget. 2 items that I have as outstanding for the board that Nikki and I have been talking about are, one, what to do with the trust that has funding in the account right now that the board has held. So there's money in a trust, and there's also some funding in class that we had said was for pension. And so just making the board aware that those dollars sit there and deciding if that's where you want them to remain. Do you want to add to those? Do you want to send those on to CalPERS to just start paying down your liabilities? So we'll talk about that in our next setting. And then also the internal loan. I mentioned before, the loan was made so that so that the district could make its debt service payments on the bonds that were issued. And an internal loan of just less than $190,000 was made. Now that the funding has come in from the state in those various levels, it's my recommendation that that internal loan be forgiven. So that would be a discussion. I guess Nikki and I have talked about it, but that the board we would present something to you to decide if you want those funds to be paid back, or if they can just be taken out of these new revenues that have come in both from the state and property taxes. And you would need a resolution to do that. So those are the upcoming discussion items that we'll have for the next meeting. And that concludes my notes tonight, unless there are questions.
Looks like no questions here. Thank you.
Super, thank you.
Thanks, Trustee.
Okay. Moving on to our ad hoc committee reports, starting with the facilities committee.
So just one quick adjustment to this. So based on some information that we got back from the county, we are now looking at a hearing date in probably March. Due to one more unavoidable review piece that we can't do anything about, even though what I want to do is go to their houses and make them approve it right now. But I don't think that should like meaningfully change our process. We're still planning to close and do all the things that, we're on deck to do. So that's the only big adjustment. So ideally, the first available March date will be our CUP hearing, but we'll keep you posted.
Thank you. Any questions on the facilities committee? For the facilities committee?
Oh, I'll just add, big thank you to all of our friends and colleagues over at Town Council, both the Land Use Committee and the full council for their enthusiastic and unanimous approval of our project.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to new business, we have first review and approval of the main library shelving and storage vendor recommendation. Who will be presenting on that?
We have Jennifer's here, yeah.
Yep.
Hello,
Good
Jennifer.
evening. Good evening, everybody. Make sure that I have the right notes in front of me here. So, yes. So, back in November, the board approved our RFP for the shelving vendor, and that was posted on November 18th with a closing deadline of January 5th. We did receive 3 responses to that RFP, Best Quality Movers, the Office Furniture Solutions, and Yamada Enterprises. Our review panel included myself, Daniel Madariaga, as well as Amy Crawford, the project interior designer. And we reviewed those proposals on the basis of the criteria, including their experience, their personnel qualifications, their project approach, and their costs. And we were unanimous in selecting Yamada Enterprises with a project cost of $163,200. We are budgeting an additional 10% owner's contingency, and that would bring the total amount to $179,520. So we're asking the board tonight to authorize the director to complete that agreement with Yamada and for the budgeted amount of $179,520. Are there any questions?
Questions? Okay, thank you. Then can we get a motion?
Move to approve as recommended.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Great, thank you. Okay, moving on to the next, review and approval of the main library moving and storage vendor recommendation.
Hello, good evening, everyone. I'm Daniel. I'm the facilities manager with Multimedia Library District. So last month we brought over RFP for moving and storage. Just a reminder of what that is. It's approximately 50,000 books and 45 pieces of furniture, as well as some items that need climate control space as well. So we took that out to the public. I also reached out to several of the companies that I had discussed with other SFB managers and directors about that they had recommended. So I reached out to them as well to see if they wanted to place the bid. A lot of them did. We ended up with 8 bids total, and 2 of them were, the prices were crazy, like 100,000 over the others. So we eliminated them immediately. We stayed with the 6, and from the 6 we did a scoring matrix with them, and 2 of them came out to be better than the rest based off of several different things, but past experience was a major part of them. Part of why we went with these 2 to continue on with them. We interviewed 2 of them, and from the 2, there was one that exceeded far and beyond the other. So it was Beltman that we chose. Out of all the scorings, we all gave them a 9 out of 10 in our review process. I went over to their facility over in Anaheim, so I want to show you a couple of pictures of my visit to their space. Sure. So they have a 100,000 square foot warehouse. And it is in, so there we go. All right, so that's the front of the building. You can't really tell, but it's a massive space. We can go into the next picture, please. So here's an example of just part of the space of what it looks like. You can keep going, please. So it gives you an idea of all the different, of how big this place is. They have different, 12 different ports to bring in, more storage. You can see that they have like, unique items.
That motorcycle.
Motorcycles here,
Check them.
they have a really cool vintage, wagon. So it kind of shows you the different types of stuff.
The Ark of the Covenant.
Yeah. So they have one company that's had their legal documents there for 15 years and they just show up every now and then and take a look at the documents and get rid of what they need to, but they've been storing things for a very long time for many different companies. You can see in that background, those crates, that's an example of where our furniture would be held.
And will it be, it looks like it's a big open space, so how do they? I guess signage, like how do they delineate what is what, and then will it be in crates like that?
So our furniture will be in crates like this one that you see
Okay.
here. And then I'll show you a picture of where our books are gonna be held. It's a little bit different. I don't know 100% how they know exactly where our things are, but they have many different items there. And I can get you some more information on how they do that.
We have like RFID tags and stuff.
See the next picture, please. So we would be in this space right here. That's where our furniture would go. Next picture, please. So this is the exact location where our books would be held. They feel that we would take up the entire front side and then a little bit on the back reverse side as well. And it goes up 4 different levels. It's towards the rear, next to where their offices are, so I actually really like the location, because if anything bad were to happen, then also moving in and out of their office spaces, so they'll have an eye on it, which is nice. Next picture, please. Here's an example of how they would store the books. So they put it, they shrink wrap it, band it, and then put it back up on the display cases. Next, please. Here's where they would keep our climate control items. We would get a 10-foot by 10-foot space in the corner. They don't use this space for, whatever they have here, set up as tables and chairs. They said that they don't use this at all, so we would have pretty much inclusive usage of this space.
Daniel, this is where like some of the art would go, right?
That's correct. Is there any more pictures? Just took pictures of your trucks. This is not a mom and pop type situation, so I just wanted to show you that. So any questions on, so we're hoping that you would approve this company. All the managers that interviewed them really like them, and I think it'll be safe. And Adit spoke with them earlier today, just to kind of go over the system that they use to take the books out, and she seems very confident in what they do.
How's security?
Security there. It's a secured building. It's a big office space with a warehouse in the back. I don't know if they have people patrolling, but I would imagine they do, but I can find that out.
Does our contract with them include insurance coverage?
Yes.
For full replacement value?
Yeah, last time we talked, we were
talking about this, right?
embracing it.
Yeah.
So yeah, they have no problem with that.
Great.
The other companies have problems with that.
That's why I didn't make it.
Yeah.
I see your note that like they're willing to help us get stuff from their outfit to the refurbishers. Do you think at this point it makes sense to add a contingency for that, or do you want to just bring that back when we know what that
Yeah,
was?
because I don't know what that looks like just yet.
Yeah.
How many items are we taking out? Are we taking them out one at a time?
Yeah.
When we're doing it, so it's really hard to answer that question, but they offer that service. It's really cool, because we can just say, we need items X, Y, and Z, and they can say, okay, let's pull those items out, and they'll even take it to wherever we need to take it to,
Great,
if we want to do that.
really cool.
Katie's point, though, maybe we should authorize a little bit more
Do you wanna just, similar to the last time, you wanna add a 10% contingency to this? If we don't need it, we don't need it.
Yeah. I think that makes sense.
But that way you don't have to fool with it. I mean, it would still be under the 10% would be under the $50,000 discretionary amount anyway, but just to keep it
Yeah.
consistent.
Any other questions?
Okay. Then can we get a motion to approve this as amended, right? We're gonna amend it.
So moved.
All in favor? Okay, thank you,
Thank you,
Danielle.
Daniel.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to review and approval of the professional auditing services RFP. Would that be you, Nikki? or
Yeah, and Christie.
Christie?
Thank you for always giving me credit on these reports. So I'll turn it over to you, Christie.
Okay, it's good business practice to go out for bids, especially on an audit because of you want to change that audit staff. Excuse me, maybe you should have spoke, Nikki. I can't spit out the words. Good practice every 5 to 7 years to go out for bids so that you're looking at cost, but you're also looking at other firms and just making sure that the auditors you have are performing as they should on your audit. You want an independent opinion. I would say that the existing firm is always include, unless you have issues, which I don't believe the district does. They've done a fine job. You go out, you include them in it, but the request might be, or they would submit it, their proposal with a different partner in charge, so that you've got a fresh set of eyes. You're following some of the standards that are out there for private businesses, even though they're not required of government agencies. You want to follow those same standards. So we've put the RFP together, Nikki and I, and a process, and then a list of firms that this would go out to. And then I'm not sure who she has on the committee that would be reviewing these, but you would do a written evaluation and then invite in a couple of firms that would submit their presentations to you. And so if the board has other firms that they feel should be included in this, you will want to do that as well. I think one of the biggest components in the evaluation is similar engagements. You want somebody who understands government agencies, specifically special districts. Of course, cost is a factor, but I've been actually working with 4 different organizations that are all sending out RFPs in the next couple of months. So audit firms are going to be busy replying to these, responding to these. But cost is certainly a factor, schedule, and references. So just good practice. It's time. I don't know that your policy states that you must do it, but if nothing else, it's a recommendation that it go every 5 to 7 years.
We haven't done it for a while.
Yeah, we've had Niagara since I got here.
Mhm.
18.
We had planned to do this a year ago, but
It was a busy year.
it was a busy year and just didn't feel like it was the right time to potentially bring on a new auditor in the middle of everything.
Right. And the services would begin in July, so it's good timing because it allows them to plan and get you a schedule that you can agree on to perform the work.
This is gonna go through budget committee
I was thinking it
to vet it,
could potentially, I just don't know timeline wise if that'll work.
right? Okay.
But maybe we could talk to the budget committee about participating in the scoring.
Seems like
Yeah.
they're.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Any additional questions?
Just to clarify, I think this is what you said, Christy. So this will be posted publicly as well as sent to select firms, right?
Correct,
Correct.
yes. Nikki and team will be posting it on, I forget what your site is, but yes, so everybody has access to it, but you also may want to encourage some firms to apply as well. That's okay to do.
Yeah, if you have any, just let me know, because we post it in BidNet, we post it on our website. And then we send out to specific emails if we have them,
Yeah.
to encourage people to take a look.
CSDA might have
Mm-hmm.
a distribution list.
It's a good idea.
The other factor will be that you don't want a firm that's too small, but you don't want one that's too large. It's got to be just the right fit for your organization. So sometimes you'll see some of the bigger firms may or may not send in, may not respond to it. So if you just want to make sure you have a good group to evaluate. So the more notice you can give people, the better.
If no other questions, can we get a motion to approve this request for proposals? Proposals and auditing services. All in favor? Great, thank you. Have item D, review and approval of change order number 5 for Monet Construction. Who will be presenting, Jennifer?
It'll be me again. Hello again.
Hello.
Okay, so back in March of 2024, the board approved the award of contract to Monet Construction for the Bob Lucas Library. And as part of that approval, we included a 10% owner's contingency amount, bringing the total approval to, $3,295,600. So over the course of the project, we've had 5 change orders. The first 4 total 247, 742, 48. And this last change order number 5 has put that amount over the previously approved amount by $29,579.33. That change order included some owner requested items such as the infill of the driveway along Lincoln and plastering the mural wall, which I understand is now beautifully painted. So we are asking for approval for the additional $29,579.33 to approve change order number 5. That'll be the last change order, and then we'll be able to release payment on for 95%. Any questions?
Okay, no questions. Then can we get a motion to accept the recommendation to complete the Bob Lucas Memorial Branch renovation with Monet Construction for the final amount of that number?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. That was item D, right?
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, read it right?
That's
Okay, yeah, okay, thank you. Then E is review and approval to accept the Bob Lucas Memorial Branch Library's renovation with Monet Construction as complete.
And that's me again. So given that you have approved change order number 5, and we will approve payment of 95% of the contract amount, then we need this notice of completion to initiate the process for the release of the 5% retention to the contractor. And that notice of completion will be filed with the county recorder, and that puts a time limit on any claims that any contractors or subcontractors may have against the project for non-payment. So it's always good practice to file that with the county to start that clock. Otherwise, it's a longer period of time. So, and then once filed, then we would need to pay that 5% retention within 60 days. We expect the filing fee to be around $100, the county, so that's really the only fiscal impact here. Any questions about the notice of completion?
Okay. Then can we get a motion to accept the Bob Lucas Branch Library renovation, Monet Construction market as complete?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Yay.
Okay. Next, we have item F, which is review and approval of Bob Lucas Memorial Library and Literacy Center and the Altadena Library at Loma Alta Park. For their late opening for the main library groundbreaking ceremony.
Hey, now it's my turn.
Yes.
So we scheduled the main library groundbreaking ceremony for Saturday, February 28th at 10 a.m. Obviously, we want all of our staff to be able to attend this exciting event. We normally open both, because we'll be opening Bob Lucas starting February 2nd, 7 days a week.
Woo.
So yay, I know. It would normally open at 10 a.m. both Bob Lucas and Loma Alta site. So we're asking that we have a late opening at 1 p.m., which will allow staff to attend the ceremony as well as take lunch and then finish up the day. So both sites would be open from 1 to 5. So just asking to authorize those closed hours.
Any questions? No, just think. All right, then can we get a motion to approve the late opening hours for the two libraries? All in favor?
Aye.
So, thank you. Moving on to the ALD operational plan, final report for 2025.
All right, that one's me as well. So as we've done since we approved the strategic plan back in the end of 2019, we've been publishing an annual operational plan that the board approves in December ahead of that calendar year. So the 2025 year is complete, so we're bringing the final report with that comments on the objectives that we set to support the 6 goals. So I did want to say, and I wrote a lot more in my report this year than I have in the past, that this was yet another year where we established our goals and objectives, and then a couple of weeks later, the world turned upside down. In spite of that, I'm really excited with the work that we were able to accomplish. And that we're continuing to do. So one of the recommendations at mid-year was to differentiate completed versus ongoing. So as you can see, we added a new color in the status bar. Ongoing is now blue. I am excited to say that goal 1, which was continue staff training and professional development, we're closing out. It's been in the operational plan for years now. But we feel like it's just part of what we do at this point and don't feel like it needs to be separated out as a goal. Really proud of the individual development plans, the niche academy training, and all the things that we do for professional development for staff. The other thing that I think I really wanted to highlight was the expansion of partnerships this past year. Due to the Eaton fire, it really opened up the necessity to connect community members to the services and resources they need as they're moving into recovery and rebuilding. And that opened the door to like partnering with so many more groups than we have in the past. As you can see in my report, we partnered with almost 60 organizations this year to deliver almost 200 programs designed to connect residents to what they need. Like one example to me that's really a good example of something very different was like finding neighborhood housing services. At one point, they asked to do a press conference here with the governor. They did that. That turned into us putting space right by the administrative offices so that people could come in and meet with them here because they don't have office space close by. So again, like I feel like the district just really stepped up this year to expand hours that people had access to the building. I can't tell you how many nights Catalina and I stayed late just so that like community organizations would have space. That's not something we would always do before, but it just felt like it was definitely needed in light of everything that happened this past year. So really proud of the way that the staff had pivoted. We set the goals. We did achieve a lot of them, as you can see, but at the same time, like it's impressive to me how we were able to adjust. So happy to answer any questions you might have. As you can see, it was another busy year around here.
Are there any questions about the operational plan? On the report? Okay, and this says action, are we approving it?
Yeah,
Okay, then can we get a motion to approve the operational 2025 operational plan final report?
Done.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, last item of new business is the fiscal year 24-25 annual report.
right. Wow, we're really getting through this fast tonight. I'm amazed. Okay, so although a bit delayed, I would have liked to see the annual report come out a little sooner, considering that it ended June 30th of last year. Bryn has had a lot going on, so just glad she was able to pull this together for us so we could present it to the board tonight. As usual, I think it's a very beautiful report. She does such a good job of like pulling in pictures. Writing a really nice message from me. As well as the year in review, and it was such a crazy year in review, looking back at it, like the first 6 months. Life as usual, and then the next 6 months were like completely related to getting the main library reopened, the fire response and all of those things. She did, and when I asked her what she wanted me to point out about the report. Statistics, it's, they feel so meaningless at times around here because like. You can see that there was a drop in like circulation and visits and all of those things, but like. Part of that was the fact that Bob Lucas was closed most of 2025. And then in addition to that, with Maine closing for 2 months at the beginning of the year as well, that really impacted statistics. So I'm looking forward to the day when like year after year, like we can really compare. But in spite of all of the reductions, I do think like the number of programs that we had, our attendance. It's pretty remarkable when you consider that there's still so many displaced residents. I think it was an amazing fiscal year, very remarkable. And like when we reopened Maine, we weren't really sure what was gonna happen. And we are so heavily used, it's amazing to me. There's a lot of days that I leave to go to a meeting or come back from lunch and you can't even park. So even though like there's a lot of people that are still not back, the library is heavily used. So I'm really hoping that we get the word out and Bob Lucas and Loma Alta can fill that void once we do close the main library for renovation. So happy to hear any thoughts or feedback about the report. Again, I think Bryn did another fabulous job with it. And yeah, it was another crazy year.
Are there any questions or comments about the report?
I mean, I guess I just sort of had the same response to the statistics. I was shocked that the numbers were as high as they were.
Yeah.
Honestly, given that like this finished at sort of the midpoint of summer. I mean, certainly so many people are still displaced, but at that point in the year, most of us were not home. And for those numbers to be as high as they were is astonishing.
And such a successful summer reading.
Yeah, hugely
Right,
successful
too.
summer reading. Yeah, crazy.
Everybody loves their libraries.
Here, here.
Which is heartening
Yeah,
for many reasons. Okay. If there are no other questions or comments, thank you very much for that and thank Bryn for the report. It's also very beautiful. Moving on to governance, we have election of officers. Didn't we do that?
we did.
We were just publishing the board rules.
Oh, okay. Alrighty, then, the board retreat is scheduled for Friday.
A week from Friday.
Yep.
Yeah. A week and a half.
Okay,
And we're
9 to
here.
1. Huh?
We're here.
We're here.
Okay.
Yes. And we finalized the agenda this morning, so yeah, it'll be a packed 4 hours, I think. And we will have breakfast and provide lunch too, so.
That was gonna be my, are we gonna have coffee? We'll have to tally it. Gonna be a good retreat.
But just a reminder that we don't record the meeting and we don't live stream it. So it is an open meeting. Public can attend, but kind of encourage trustees to ask all the questions they might have about building projects, lobbying, and all the other things going on.
Okay, thank you. Is there any correspondence?
Yes, so, if you will see on the screen here, we received mail from William F. Cruz on behalf of LAFCO. If you can just give me a moment while I find his screen. So this is from Lavraloff LLP on behalf of LAFCO. Nominations for candidates for special district voting members and special district alternate member have opened. Forms have been included in the agenda package for submitting nomination forms. Submissions must be received no later than 3/6/26, no later than 5 p.m. So, that's also been emailed to you.
Yeah, unless anybody has a burning desire to be the LAFCO special district rep, I think we're good to just let people
Yeah.
nominate.
Just in case you're bored.
In case you're like, I don't have enough going on in my life, what I really care about is local agency formation commissions. That's what I wanna do. I respect it. No? Okay, well, you know.
While I have the floor, I just want to remind the trustees to please fill out your Form 700. Not sure if you received my email. I did have trustee Ruffin confirm his submission, so I thank you for that.
Mine is.
Oh, I see how we're doing this. We're calling people out now. Hang on a minute. I didn't know we were gonna do it this way.
Till April 1st.
I know, but yeah.
Forward you my that I received.
You guys have payment on the back end?
Yes.
You do, okay.
Oh, you do get it? So you don't need me to forward mine? Your annual 700 has successfully been formed filled with our office. Okay.
I opened.
And we have to
read
complete
it.
ethics training. Just a reminder if you haven't done
I
that.
thought that.
I'll be,
It's 2 hours.
Okay. And when's the due date?
It's really.
We had hoped it would be done in January, but.
Oh.
Okay.
We'll remind you,
So,
with the exception of, I think trustee Moramus and Ruffin, because you had to do it last year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys are exempted.
It's not-
It's just the other 3 of you. We have to do it every 2 years. I do too.
It's not too bad usually.
Oh, it's bad.
It's bad.
Okay.
I love our board.
All right, I will get that done.
Mhm.
Okay. Are there any proposed future agenda items? Then we are adjourned at 6:12.
Boom. You know, sail for that, boss.
Oh, I can't believe that stinking ethics thing is on the agenda. Yeah, it's like, they don't come for years and then. It's on.
How long should it take for them to send me my link?
Where's the board
I
meeting?
think they sent it.
Is it here?
Is it, oh, yeah.
Your profile.
No, no, no.